Hello! So today I'm going to be talking about Disgrace by J.M. Coetzee. J.M. Coetzee is a South African novelist born in 1940. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2003 and has not once but twice received the Booker Award, and Disgrace was one of the books that won it. So he's really well regarded, and I'm a bit embarrassed to say I've never read anything until Disgrace. I've never read a single page of Coetzee's work until I picked up this book. From the little bit of Googling that I've done, I do believe that Disgrace is sort of widely seen as his most accessible work, but also one of his most controversial. So let's get into some of those themes. We've got power and abuse. We have redemption versus punishment. We've got gender and sexual politics. We're looking at post-apartheid South Africa. We have some shame and responsibility. The novel's also exploring the parent-child relationship. We've got some isolation. We've got some justice versus survival. And finally, we've got a little bit of transformation. What's it about? We follow David Lurie, who is a 52-year-old professor in Cape Town, and he has an affair with one of his students. Things get a bit complicated when the student's parents start getting involved with what's happening, and all of a sudden there's a university inquiry. But David, he seems to have reached the age where he just refuses to show any remorse for what he's done. He stands his ground, he refuses to get any legal representation, and he just takes it and is forced to resign. I'm going to add in quickly here that David is not the most likeable character. In his Disgrace, David decides to escape his current sort of living situation and go visit his daughter. I believe it was on the rural Eastern Cape. His daughter's name is Lucy, and she is a sort of new-ish farmer, but also a dog breeder, and looks after stray dogs. David somewhat representing another stray in this instance who has gone to stay with her. David and his daughter Lucy start getting into this kind of rhythm, this sort of new way of life for David. He's setting out in his free time to maybe write a new opera about Byron and his time in Italy. And then, all of a sudden, and I'm not going to say anything for spoilers, but an event happens. This event completely disrupts the lives of David and Lucy and really projects the sort of momentum of the novel in its second half. And the rest of the novel is covering the aftermath of this event and what it does to them as people, as characters, the sort of redemption, survival, how they decide to live their lives, the choices they decide to make. So I can't really say anything more about the plot than what I've already said. So what did I like and what didn't I like? What I liked. I really, really loved the prose, the writing style in this one. I thought it was really, really tight, but it's quite elegant in moments, and there is so much meaning packed into its simplicity. I love that this novel is presenting its reader with so many complex moral questions, and also the novel at the same time is providing no easy answers. And it really challenges the reader. It makes you feel, it's not an easy read. I really enjoyed the aspects of this novel that are looking at post-apartheid South Africa at that time. I think it's quite honest, a little bit unsettling, and very, very complex. The next thing I really loved is this novel got under my skin. I don't know whether it will do that for everybody, but it just, I think haunting's too strong a word, but I was really sort of emotionally connected to this one, to his story, even though I didn't think he was that much of a likeable character. This one just got under my skin. Even though it is slightly on the nose, I really liked the use of animals as metaphors throughout this novel. Also, a bit of a warning, if you are averse to any kind of animal cruelty, I think cruelty is too strong of a word, but any kind of harm that may come to animals, if that's just not your bag, then this is also not a novel for you. I also really love that this novel isn't really moralising in any sense. It's kind of like trusting us to just deal with it and understand and work it out on our own. It's trusting us to take our time with it, and I think, again, all these reasons are why I think it won the Booker. It's doing things very, very simply in an utterly, utterly complex way. And it wasn't actually until I got quite late into the novel that I felt a bit embarrassed that I started really understanding the multi-layered nature of the title. It's a disgrace not just of the personal, but also of the cultural and the historical landscape of this country. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I really liked the ending of this one. I want to tell you all the things I was feeling at the end of this novel, but I can't for spoilers. So all I can say is that, I really enjoyed the way that this novel finished. What didn't I like? I was really struggling to find things that I didn't like. So I'm just going to mention a few things that I don't think I didn't like them. There were just a few aspects that maybe would have improved my reading journey through it. But again, these are very, very small. Number one is that I wish there was maybe just a little bit more dialogue in this. It's very sort of introverted, and just at times I wanted to enter into the world of it just a little bit more. The next one is to do with the spoiler. I can't be bothered to do any cuts and skip to here today. I'm just too busy. So I'm just going to go that the event happens and the motivations for the event are explored, but not in as much detail as I would have liked. I think there is a lot to be covered between the history and placement of Lucy and the dad and where they are and the land that they're on. And yeah, and the sort of why the event happened and the sort of like, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. It's just that there's I would have liked the sort of motivations of what happened to be explored just a little bit more. We get enough, and I get a good understanding, but as I'm finishing the novel, understanding what it's looking at, but still, just a little bit more for me would have been better. And the final one I've sort of also mentioned is that, some of the symbolism with the animals is a little on the nose, i.e. the dogs. David coming to visit, all that kind of stuff, but not to the point that it ruins it. It doesn't damage it at all. It's just I did feel like, I did that noise. I was a bit like, I get what's going on here. But yeah, that's it. Just not much I didn't like about this one. I think that Disgrace is a powerful, brutal, and deeply intelligent novel. I thought it was just great. I'm giving it 5 stars out of 5. And I'm actually really glad that I held off so long to read any Coetzee, only because I don't think I would have appreciated this novel if I had read it in my early 20s. I just don't think I was emotionally mature enough to really understand the layering and the complexity at play. If you are looking for something kind of safe, then this is not the novel for you. But if you are looking to be challenged and maybe a little bit disturbed, but ultimately rewarded for the journey, then this is definitely a novel for you. It's really hard because I don't think this is a novel you will love. However, after reading it, I think you will be glad that you did. So have you read Disgrace by J.M. Coetzee, and what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments below. And now that I've kind of got this Coetzee train rolling, what should be the next one I read? It still might be months and months and months until I get to it, but I'd be really interested to know, what do you think is a good novel written by him to follow up Disgrace? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I hope you're well, and I will see you all on the next one. We're getting very, very close to old Booker season, baby. So that might be dominating the channel for most of August. Anyway, all the love in the world. See you later.